WWE has decided to say, let's unleash the Kraken on AEW. They went crazy with this one. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, AEW Dynamite is a show by AEW, obviously, that usually airs on Wednesday night. Now, the week of October 10th, they will be airing on a Tuesday due to the MLB playoffs. And guess what other wrestling show airs on Tuesday? Yep, you got it right, NXT. And NXT basically said, hey, we on Tuesdays. You're not gonna come around my block, my hood, and start slinging professional wrestling over here. Like, and we not supposed to do nothing about that. We about to pop the trunk on you, right? We gotta get you out of here. You're not gonna buy the Big Mac off my menu and open a restaurant across the street trying to sell Big Macs and think we supposed to be cool about this. So they decided to have this crazy card for NXT on October 10th to combat AEW Dynamite. And you would ask why? Is because they acquired Adam Copeland, aka Edge, over there, and he's supposed to have a match against Luchasaurus that night. So I believe that that's the case. If that's still not the case, please let me know in the comment section. I appreciate that. But before I get into that, I want to say this about Edge first and foremost. I'm happy that he's in AEW. Okay, I'm happy for the fact that he's able to choose what he wants to do with his career at this point. I mean, he's given me so much as a wrestling fan, even growing up, as far as moments, as far as anything. And I can ask him for more. And at this point, he has the right to decide what he wants to do with his career. I think he's always has the right, but especially now, he's given us so much that he has the right to decide where he wants to go. It's like that person that stays on a sports team for like 20 years and gives us so much historic moment. Choose to go wherever team you want to go, however way you want to end your career, bro. You gave us so much. We can't ask you for more. And I can't be mad about that. Now, with Edge going over AEW, we all know that he's a household name, to say the least. Everybody up until this point knows who's Edge is. Every generation who's still alive and breathing and has the mind to know where they're at, they know exactly who Edge is. So obviously AEW is going to draw some eyeballs over there, at least from the casuals, and which will be great for them because through him, they'll probably be introduced to other wrestlers they could be fans of. And AEW does have some great wrestlers over there. But WWE has decided to go overkill with the card on that night. They can decide to smut out AEW. So if you didn't see the cards, it was basically Roxanne Perez versus Asuka. And then you got Cody Rhodes coming out with an announcement. And then also you have Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. Carmelo Hayes has John Cena on NXT on his corner. And then you have Paul Heyman on Braun Breaker's corner at NXT for that match too. So they went really crazy. They really dumped a bunch of steroids on this to kind of combat what's going on AEW. Now, I get the strategy. It feels overkill, but I kind of get it because people will go to AEW just to try to see what's going on with Adam Copeland. And Adam Copeland is not going to wrestle in an hour, and he's not going to cut a promo for another hour. So he only can be on the show so much. So WWE is like, all right, well, if you want to go to Costco's, you want to go to, you want to go to Sam's Club and get you a sample, just let you know, when ain't nothing going on over there, we got a 5-star, 5-course meal going on over here. So you can always come back. Don't forget, you know who John Cena is, right? We got John Cena over here. We got Paul Heyman over here. We got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got a Cody Rhodes over here. So just come over here. And, it's interesting. And I'm excited to see it because obviously I'm a fan of Roxanne Perez. I've been a fan of her since she was Roxy. But to see her have a match against Asuka will be great for her. And especially to see the fans at NXT be excited about this. They deserve to see this stuff because you never know. People that's there probably never got the opportunity to see a John Cena in person, or they probably never will be able to, or until this point, and they probably never seen Cody Rhodes before. So it'll be great to see their reaction to see Asuka back. It's great to see their reaction to see John Cena there, to see Cody Rhodes there. The dynamic between Braun Breaker being a Paul Heyman guy is an interesting concept, which I hope they build on. And this isn't just a one-time thing. I think this whole scenario is a great thing on either side. And I get it's for ratings, and I get it's for a ratings boost. But the only reason I have a concern about this, and I'm not trying to be negative about this because I'm excited to see what happens. For one, it feels forced, right? So for me with Cody Rhodes, it's like, what type of announcement do you have that you will have it on NXT? Now, my personal opinion, I don't think he's going to have an announcement. I think he's going to try, and then probably Dragunov's going to come out and they probably have a match against each other. That's what I think is possibly going to happen that night. But it's just like, if not, then what exactly does Cody Rhodes have to say that has to do with NXT, right? That part kind of feels forced. And John Cena being on the corner, Carmelo Hayes feels kind of random, but it's happening. It is what it is. But with all that being said, it just makes you wonder, do NXT really believe in their stars, right? Do NXT really believe in their stars? Now, I grew up watching the black and gold era of NXT, where we had the great ones like Tommaso Ciampa, we had Velveteen Dream, we had Johnny Gargano's, we had all these different people. And at the time, we felt like that all of those people individually could be stars if they brought up to the main roster doing anything. And some of them we felt like were bigger than a lot of the stars on the main roster. Now, granted, at that time, AEW wasn't big or wasn't around at all, depending on when you started to watch it. And the main roster wasn't that great, especially Raw. It was bad for a long time. So people gravitated to NXT, but still the star power in those individuals, because of Triple H running it, we felt like that they could combat with anybody. But I start to feel like that NXT don't believe in their stars that are mainly on NXT to combat with anybody, which is why I feel like they keep pulling down from the main roster, which, I mean, they have the opportunity to do that. They have the weaponry to do that. It is what it is. But when you see things happen like what I talked about before with Becky Lynch having the Women's Championship belt, then you got Dominic back with the North American Championship belt, NXT Women's Tag Team Championship belts being removed because it got combined to the women's tag team belts on the main roster. So you only got so many belts on NXT. So for me, I'm just like, it starts to feel like that they're taking away from the people who are supposed to be on NXT. Like NXT feels like it's just like this brand on the side that's like, okay, once we need a ratings boost on that day, we'll do all we can for them. But it's like after these people leave, after the Becky Lynch loses her title, after Dominic loses his title and things like that, then what, right? And that goes for AEW too, like with the Adam Copeland thing, because you can get a ratings boost, but at the same time, they can't be there forever, right? It's just like this guy who has a bunch of these cars and these girls come around him and they always in his face and stuff like that, and they find out that his cars are leased or his cars get repossessed, the girl's not going to be there anymore. So when these stars are gone from NXT, you don't have anything, I feel like, established to sustain the audience that you're drawing there. Now, it's impossible to have someone like Becky Lynch come down there and then have all the eyeballs that came down there due to Becky Lynch stay watching NXT. But it has to be more than pulling people from other brands that sustain new viewers to watch shows like NXT, or we can even talk about AEW. There has to be more than people coming there to watch Edge to sustain it. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, is pumping it up with main roster people sustainable? Is NXT even a developmental brand anymore? Like, what exactly is the identity of NXT? It's not clear anymore. Like, we go back and forth between it being developmental, and then we talk about the fact that it's a third brand, which, I mean, it makes sense that it's a third brand, but it's just like, where are we going? What is the actual identity of NXT at this point? You know, I know it's a lot. I'm putting in one video. I know the whole subject is all over the place, but I haven't talked on here for a while, so I thought about this all trip, and I hope you guys just let me know what you guys think. I'm not complaining. I'm happy about seeing what's about to happen. Seeing two places combat, I can't wait to see that. That makes the wrestling community better. It makes everything better as far as wrestling. As long as you have a competitor, people have to grow from that. But I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is NXT at this point. What are we doing with it? Is it? And then also, when you keep having these moments where these people come down from the main roster and take these titles, we just saw a bunch of people get cut. So you're taking time away from people's opportunity in their career to win X, Y, and Z title because they want to give it to a person on the main roster just to draw ratings. But, you know, sometimes we got to build the foundation of what's there. You know, we can't always expect the main roster to save NXT. I would have loved for them to have like NXT built up and then have NXT with their own stars and maybe one organic match, which I feel like the Asuka and Roxanne Perez felt a lot more organic than anything else they have booked for that day, even including the Cody Rhodes thing and John Cena being there. Everything else, you know, even though it's great, it just feels really kind of, we know why it's happening. It's for the ratings. So, you know, it is what it is. But that if we had more organic matches, then I think that would have been great to have that combat against AEW. But that's just my personal opinion. That's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I appreciate you guys for watching. Salute, peace, have a good day.